So hey everyone, welcome back to JCDI. Today I'll be reading Ivy and Being One Big Happy Family. So yesterday I didn't have time to read it because we were like shopping Scholastic books for Caroline video. And the books finish out October 1st. So yeah. And yesterday I was also really tired, so I couldn't do that much. So we'll start off from the page we left off from chapter 4. So let's get started. There might be background noises, but I think it's fine, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning right now, so it's fine. So let's get started. So I'm using this bear bookmark. It's nice and cute. Did you know they're the biggest carnivores? Yeah. Alright, so chapter 4 is the road to Disasterville. Let's get started. Bean tried to warn her sisters were no good. They tattle on you if you did the tiniest thing a little bit wrong, and then you had to go sit outside. They bossed you. They got mad if you took one measly glass animal out of their rooms. They laughed at you. They completely freaked out about small problems, even if you were just about to clean them up. They told you your hair smelled. They told you your drawings were weird looking, your hair smelled, and there was a very big, scary secret that no one would ever tell you, not in a million years. So I think she got mad at her because of the glass animal here. She doesn't like her drawing, so she's laughing at her, and she's saying that her hair smells. That is really rude. I think Nancy is one day gonna regret it. And then they smiled at you in a grown-uppy way just to remind you that they knew it and you didn't. All day long, sisters did that. And then, right before bed, they said, I was just kidding. Ivy said that was older sisters. Younger sisters weren't like that. Younger sisters were perfectly fine, especially very small ones. A baby sister, for instance, would be only half as annoying as Nancy, maybe even less. Just annoying enough to keep Ivy from getting spoiled. A baby sister was what she needed. Trust me, you don't, said Bean. I do, said Ivy. Bean shook her head. Next stop, Disasterville. But Ivy was already zipping towards the gate. She stopped and looked back at Bean. Come on, she said. Let's go tell my mom. Tell her what, said Bean, getting up. Tell her to have a baby. Wow. Bean didn't know how that was going to work, but she was interested to find out. Once she was at Ivy's house, though, she decided it would be more polite to wait in Ivy's room during the telling part. It didn't take very long, 3 minutes maybe. What did she say? Asked Bean. She said, ha! Ivy answered, flopping down on her bed, and then she sang a song about the old gray mare just ain't what she used to be. And then she said, absolutely not. No, with a capital N. Sounds like she means it, said Bean. You'd better just give me the jiggly man. No, said Ivy. I'm going to brainstorm. Miss Aruba Tate was nuts about brainstorming. She was always doing it. When she brainstormed, Miss Aruba Tate wrote down words and drew circles around them with her big purple pen. She called this an idea map. Bean didn't really get why brainstorming was just different than regular thinking, so she just watched while Ivy brainstormed. First, Ivy slid to the floor. Then she put her hands around her eyes. After that, she rolled around and grunted. So here's a picture of Ivy leading her to the gate. I forgot to show you. And here's the picture right now of Bean and Ivy. Ivy's brainstorming. Hope you guys could see that. Yep, so yeah. Next. It wasn't very interesting watching Ivy brainstorm. Bean wandered over to Ivy's doll tenement. Ivy's room was divided into 5 little sections. There was an art studio, a sleeping area, a living room, a magic lab, and a doll tenement, where all of Ivy's dolls lived. Ivy had scads of dolls. She had regular plastic dolls, china dolls dressed like old-fashioned girls, dolls in fancy costumes, wooden dolls, stuffed dolls, Barbies, and even a rock in a nightgown. Oh my god, that's silly. Bean poked around, looking for the jiggly man. Ivy stopped rolling around the floor and put her feet up on the wall. That way, the blood would slosh her brain and make a storm. Bean lifted the rock. "No, Jiggly Man." She peeked inside a doll bed. "Ew," she said. "This one's gross." She held up a doll by its foot. Ivy glanced up from the floor. "That's a Zellophine. She's supposed to look like a real baby." She did. Zellophine had blobby arms and legs. She had droopy fat cheeks and shiny drooly lips. In between her drooly lips, there was a little hole where you were supposed to stick a bottle. On her bald head was a pink knitted cap, and on her squishy bottom was a big diaper. She gave Bean creeps. "Let's bury her alive." Yeah, those type of dolls are really creepy, actually. So here's the rock dressed in a nightgown. That's pretty silly. Ooh, she has a really big collection of dolls. I love this one. This one looks good. And the creepy baby with the squishy bottom and the creepy face. She does look really creepy, right? Next. Ivy giggled. "Okay, when I'm done brainstorming. Well, hurry up, Bean." Ivy tried. "How can I get a sister?" she asked herself. How? She bugged her eyes out at the electrical outlet on her wall. Suddenly, her brain stormed. "Hey," she said. "Electricity! Electricity!" "What about it?" said Bean. She waved Zellophine. "Come on, let's bury her." "No," said Ivy. "Let's put some electricity in her and make her come to life." Ivy had seen it in a movie. There was this guy who made a giant robot, and then he struck it with lightning, and then it sat up. Ivy explained. "That's what we're going to do with Zellophine." Bean looked at Zellophine's drooly lips and imagined her alive. Yuck. Where are we going to get the lightning? The guy in the movie had to use lightning because it was a long time ago, and that was the only electricity he could get. Ivy said, "But now we have plugs." She pointed to the outlet. "We'll plug her in and charge her up." Bean had a feeling it wouldn't work, but if it did, Ivy was going to be in big trouble. "You're going to have to change her diapers, you know?" "No way," said Ivy. "That's a mom thing." So Ivy's brain just stormed. Which doesn't really make sense. Which actually does, but it's not what it's supposed to be. "You should ask your mom first." Then Ivy went downstairs to talk to her mom and came back a few minutes later holding a plug. "My mom says that if I make Zellophine come alive with electricity, she will be happy to change her diapers because she supports scientific progress. She even gave me her phone plug for charging. One end of Ivy mom's plug was regular plug, but the other was a regular plug, but the other end was shaped like a tiny straw. It was easy to jam it in the hole where Zellophine's bottle was supposed to go. Bean had wanted to stick it right in the top of Zellophine's head, but Ivy thought it would be mean to make Zellophine come alive with a hole in the top of her head. "See, I'm getting less spoiled already," she said. In the movie, the robot came to life on a special table. So Ivy and Bean laid Zellophine. So here's Zellophine on a special table. I think it's Ivy's science table. I don't know, or work table, or like it looks really weird. Looks like Zellophine's about to have surgery. Okay, Bean laid Zellophine out on the table in Ivy's magic lab. Yeah, it's her lab table. The table was covered with tinfoil so that it looked like a real lab table, and also it wouldn't get ruined when glop spilled on it. Zellophine's eyes closed when they laid her down. With her closed eyes and her drooly lips and her drooly cheeks, she looked like a real sleeping baby. A real sleeping baby with a plug in her mouth. "We should put a blanket on her," said Bean. "Babies always have a blanket."